every time I remember. Hey, you guys, this is Pink Life Live. It is Thursday night, March 24th, and we have a very special guest joining us tonight. Debra Lawson is joining us, not from Louisiana, from Mississippi. So we are so thankful. She's taking time to chit chat, tell us all the things. We met actually for the very first time in Mexico in the breakfast line.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Kenny was asking, he's like, how did you meet Debra again? I said, we were eating. We were getting ready to eat. And so we just started talking. And he said, did you know who she was? I said, I had no idea. I just loved her. It was like an instant connection. And then we got to be Facebook friends. Now we're real friends. So we get to do life together. Debra has been such a huge encouragement for me, you guys, personally. She came and sought me out right before Super Saturday, and I was getting a chance to speak. And I don't know if you even remember this, Miss Debra, but you had said that it was really important that our company is reflected with integrity, with grace, with grit, with courage, with strong Christian women taking the stage. So that just really empowered me to do something scary that I had never done before. And so Debra and her husband, Jerry, are here and they're joining us. And so I'm just going to keep it really short and sweet. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for just being those trailblazers that have gone ahead. And you have already climbed Mount Everest. You've already cleared out so many obstacles and stones from our paths so that we can come up behind you guys. And our prayer is that we're able to do the same thing for our teams. And so you guys, this is Debra and Jerry Lawson, and we just want to give you the floor and say thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And let me just share with you, I'm not sure that you know who you have as your leaders, Kenny and Jenna. They are loved by Plexus. They are loved by their peers, love them. They look up to them. And so I just want you to know that you are extremely blessed to have them as your leaders.
Thank you.
Amen.
And I have one other thing. Who was asking about the body cream? Okay, well, let me tell you before I get into everything, but you remember back, I begged Tarl to change the name of the body cream because the first name of the body cream was called the breast cream. And this lady doesn't hardly say the word bra or panties in public. I mean, even whenever I'm talking to my husband or my daughter, you know, it's underwear. And if you're not sure which one it is, I kind of point, well, you know, this underwear or that underwear, you know, I mean, truly. So anyway, can you imagine getting up and talking about the breast cream or the breast check kit? And so I'm looking above everyone's head. Oh, this is our breast cream. And you simply massage it into your breast twice a day, and it helps the lymphatic fluids flow so that cysts are less likely to form. Over it. Now move on to the next. And this is mixed company, y'all, because when we had these meetings, it was husband and wives that were there. It wasn't just women, it was husband and wives that came to these meetings. So anyway, body cream is much better. Let me just tell you. Okay, so what am I supposed to do from here? Give me instructions.
I love it. So you guys are part of the original crew that really started sharing Plexus. It was so new at the time. I know that we've had Helen McFadden and Sonia I want to like mix the two, right? Sonia and Helen on, and they were sharing about in the very beginning, and just hearing from Sheila too. So we love stories. We are a team that loves testimonies because we know there's so much power in that. And we love hearing stories. So when you guys got started and you said it was husbands and wives, it was mixed company. I love that. That's a lot of what we do and a lot of what our team is doing. So when you got started, start there. How did you even get introduced to Plexus?
All right. Well, I went to a makeup party a meeting. I was doing makeup, and my husband thought I was doing really well. I was driving a car. Little did he know that, it ate up a lot of inventory. I sold a lot, but it ate up a lot of inventory. And selling the car, you had to do so much. And if your team didn't do so much, then you had to do so much. Anyway, I was, unbeknownst to him, like $16,000 in credit card debt, 29.98% interest a month. Yeah. Yeah. And we got in it because someone shared that they had lost 5 pounds. Yeah, that impressed me. 5 pounds. So I wrote down the name. I didn't want anyone to know I was even thinking about it. I brought it home. I started looking on the computer. It was a little bitty website, wasn't much. And there was just a couple of testimonies. Sheila had lost weight and Ronnie had blood sugar. That's the only testimonies that was on there. And there was no testimonies of anyone making any money. Okay. So I read for 4 months and finally got enough courage to show it to Jerry to see what he thought about me trying it. And I have never asked him before if I could try a weight loss. And I have tried every one of them. You name it, I have tried it. Weight Watchers, Slim Fast. Oh my gosh. Have you ever tried Slim Fast, the chocolate? That's my favorite. Anyone ever tried the Slim Fast? Yeah. Did you know if you put 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream in it, it is the bomb, right? Yeah. I've tried it all. I've tried the Dolly Parton diet. I have tried the diet pills over the counter. He's even taken me to the diet doctor, the one that can get put in jail. Yeah, I've done it all. So here I am, one more diet, and I'm desperate, completely desperate. And I needed to lose weight. There was a lot riding on me losing weight. I got him to look at the website to read what he said, see what he thought. He saw the little part that said may help blood sugar. I didn't see it. I was only looking at weight. He said, get it. I'll take it with you. So we got it in, and we got 4 bags because that's how it came. We only had 3 products. We had the breast check kit. We had the breast cream, Dr. Spencer's breast cream. And then we had the pink drink, the Plexus Slim. So we'd mix it up and got 4 bags. So that meant we were going to take for 2 straight months. And we were drinking that sucker because we didn't have the money and we put it on our credit card. So every day I'd take a swig and I said, well, can you tell the difference? And what would you say? He's not normally this quiet. He'd say, no, I can't. Can you tell the difference? And I'd say, no. We both laughed. We thought we had sucker written across our forehead. And I guess it was in that 3rd week that I went to that makeup meeting and I had to wear my suit. The last time I wore my suit, I could button one button of the jacket, the blazer, and that stand. And when I sat down, they all come undone. And this morning, I'm really looking forward to put on that suit again. When I put it on, though, something different happened. Not only could I button the buttons, but I could overlap it. I had lost inches. The scales only had reflected about 5 pounds or so, not much. The inches had come off. And so when I got down the road, of course, I got up real early, about 4 to get to Hattiesburg. And I called my husband. I said, okay, all kidding aside, it was about 7 o'clock in the morning. All kidding aside, quit kidding. Can you tell a difference? And he said, well, my belt buckle, I was able to take it up a notch. So that was huge for us. And you also, let me just say this, during this time, the reason why I was so frantic to lose weight was because my husband had previously been put in the hospital in 2006, had been put in the hospital where he stayed for 4 days and 3 nights. His blood sugar had been over 650. Now, that's as high as the meter went. They really don't know how high it had been. But if any of y'all were nurses or anything, but he had, whenever he would walk, his foot would just drop. and it was pretty scary. So he stayed in their hospital, and that's whenever he said, listen, I said, can I help you do anything? He said, no, just go home and work your business. Now, my business was selling makeup, where I'm $16,000 in debt, and I leave crying because he thinks that I'm making money and I'm not. What can I say? I'm good. So I knew whenever he asked me to just go home and work my business, that something different had to happen. I didn't know what was, I knew I needed to go find a 9-to-5 job. My husband's a pastor, and we lived in the church's home, a beautiful home, but it's not ours. And should he not be able to pastor anymore, I'm in debt with a job, so I really don't have a job. He'd be without a job. And I was looking at homeless. I would go to bed at night crying about what are we going to do, Lord? You've never failed us before, and my husband would always say, he's going to take care of us. And I know that, but I needed something tangible. I needed to feel something. I needed something concrete, and I didn't have it. I was just kind of sitting there in limbo, not sure. I didn't think, getting a job, I had a lot of credentials, but it'd been a long time since I had worked. And I had 2 F words against me at this moment. And I didn't think anyone would hire someone like that. So here I am. I was fat and 50. And there, can you see it? And no one's going to hire fat and 50. Just face it, So I knew if I could just lose a little bit of weight, my self-esteem had hit rock bottom. We knew we have a huge power plant here, and we knew the president of it. In fact, Jerry has been able to get several people jobs out there. And I thought, you know what? It's my turn. And I'll tell him that I'll just clean commodes. Now that's how rock bottom my self-esteem had gotten. I'll just clean commodes, just hire me. So here comes the pink drink. So whenever she says she lost 5 pounds, I'm pretty impressed because I want to lose anything. So we get the pink drink in, we started losing weight, we started losing inches. And that's when I called my good friend, Patty and Sheila. And I said, okay, I've lost weight and people are noticing. So we devised a plan. And so they came up and we had a luncheon. I invited 13 people and 12 people signed up. The 13th didn't have the money. He signed up a couple months later. We had something that night. 6 people came, 4 people signed up. I had, on my way home, I knew it was 20 minutes away. And I knew that if word got out to a couple of my friends and I didn't tell them, they were going to be mad at me. So I called them to my house at 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night. One sat there with her arms like this, kind of mad at me. And when I brought out that suit that I could overlap, she said, okay, sign me up. Because she had seen me wear it just a couple of months before. And she struggled with weight. All said and done, in 4 days, I went fast start gold. So I made over $1,800. I got a call one afternoon right after that. And, I said, hello, and I'm talking or I'm really listening. And Jerry's mouthing, do you remember what you mouthed? You're like, who is that? And I'm like, I don't know, some guy named Tarl. I guess, I don't know. So he's talking to me, congratulating me because, no one has really hit that. Patty hit it once. And so and it was amazing, especially the $1,800. I mean, I never expected that. So Jerry and I decided that I was going to work Plexus. And I did. I went out, and Facebook really wasn't around. I mean, I guess there was something on there, but there wasn't, abundance of people on it. People hadn't started finding Facebook. And so we just grew Plexus worldwide. Now I want you to understand that. We grew Plexus worldwide company. And there was no testimonies.
No
There-
publications.
No publications. We had a piece of paper of a copy that had the 3 products on there. And you know how sometimes after you make a copy of a copy, it goes whoppy jaw. Well, that's how it looked. Very professional, very professional. Let me just tell you. And then the other piece of paper we had was the power of 3. And so 2 pieces of paper, and that was about it. We had no one had any testimonies of making money. Now I made $1,800, but as far as, you know, is this company going anywhere? We don't know. We just knew what it was doing for us. And so before I go any further to that, I want to share with you this. When Jerry was sick in the hospital and he came home, and by the way, his doctor was an Indian doctor, and he stayed with him, stayed at the hospital all 4 days and watched him. He would not leave his side. When Jerry came home, he had to come home with 4 insulin shots a day. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So you can see my feeling of what are we going to do? What does this mean for us income wise? Well, Jerry, he started doing things. He started recording what he ate. He recorded what his blood sugar was, and he kind of figured out, okay, when I eat this, my blood sugar goes up. Whenever I eat this, it remains stable. And then he started getting out and walking a little bit. He couldn't really walk that much. But with that, I was trying to say that you found out that there was cinnamon helped with blood sugar. Just the capsules of cinnamon. Y'all have heard that before, right? That it would help some. Well, he started taking cinnamon, and it didn't help that much. It just helped a little bit. But he has such a passion to help people that, especially those whose livelihoods are dependent upon them having their blood sugar not being wacky. For instance, truck drivers, you know, if their blood sugar gets out of whack and they have to start taking medication, they can't drive a truck. So he had a huge passion, and just about everybody in Choctaw County was taking cinnamon from Walmart because he had a passion to share whatever's working for him. He would share how he ate. He'd share things he avoided. He would share. Some people had problems giving themselves a shot. And so he'd go over their house and share, you know, the best way to give themselves a shot where it wouldn't hurt. So I want you to understand that our passion was about helping people. We didn't get paid selling all that cinnamon. We didn't get paid him going and sharing how he ate or tricks of the trade. None of that. It was just a passion that we help people. We have a chest at our church. And what does that chest say?
Call it the Hope Chest, HOPE.
And it's helping other people
Endure.
helping other people endure. And so that is truly where our heart is at. It's a heart of ministry to others. And with Plexus, sometimes you can look at it and you're thinking, oh, they're just in it to earn money, to make money. No. Now, I'm not giving you any of my checks back, but no, it's way more than that. It's all about, how can I help you? How can I help you to have a better life? You know, whenever we feel our best, that's when we can really share the love of God, and it just flows. Satan wants us to feel horrible. Where does sickness come from? Except from the pits of hell, right? And just to think that we're able to share products that are all natural, that doesn't cause any side effects, that help you to feel your best. And when you feel your best, you can proclaim God's love all over the place. You haven't said anything. You've got to talk.
Well, it's about the first time you've ever turned the floor over to me in 45 years. No, I guess it was in '06, as Debra said, July of that year. I knew something was wrong physically. And I had church camps to direct and revivals to preach. And I asked the good Lord if he would let me fulfill my commitments, and then I would go to the doctor. And so the Lord did that in '06. And in September, after I got through with the last revival, I got up on a Monday morning, and in my heart of hearts, I knew that I was going to see Ken Henson that day. So first thing I do Monday morning after I've gotten in from a revival is to go to the local hardware store where all the gossip takes place. And I like to find out what's happened while I've been out of town. And just as I started to go into the hardware store, I looked across the street and there was this man, Ken Henson. And so I walked across the street and I said, Ken, can you do me a favor? And he said, what is it, Brother Jerry? And I said, check my blood sugar. And the meter showed HI. He had a special meter. He was a type 1 diabetic. His went to 650. And so I said hi to the meter, and he jumped all over me and said, if this is correct, you need to get to the hospital immediately. My doctor lived 40 miles away. Anyway, went up there, and they couldn't understand how I was still alive. They couldn't understand who drove me up there, and I did. So they did. They immediately put me in the hospital. So for the next 4 years, I'm addicted to insulin. The doctors have said, you'll be on insulin the rest of your life, 4 shots a day. Well, then Plexus comes along, and I see where it might help with blood sugar. I didn't know how we were going to afford it, but I wanted to tell Debra, no, we can't afford this product. And when she asked me about getting on Plexus, I said, look, let me think about it tonight, and then I'll tell you in the morning what my answer is. And so I woke up during the night and still thinking about, I know how much she wants to try this Plexus, and we can't afford it. And it was like the Lord said, Jerry, Debra has supported you in everything that you've ever done. You're going to support her in this. And I thought, I don't know how, but the person that I work for has all the answers. So I told her the next morning, let's do it. And so we started taking it. No, I couldn't tell the difference. But after about 3 weeks, being a couch potato all these years, and now I'm getting a little bit of energy. So I started walking back and forth to the mailbox. About 100 yards from the house, getting the mail and walking back to the house. I'm getting a little bit of energy back, and I'm feeling better. And I've started watching what I am eating and counting calories. And I guess after a week or two, walked down to the mailbox and I looked up the road, it's a winding hill from our house. And I thought, I'm going to walk up that hill and back. I got to the top of the hill and I had to sit down. My blood sugar bottomed out. And I had never had that problem before. And I had to call Debra, and she came up in the vehicle and picked me up. We got back to the house and my blood sugar was at 50. And I knew then that the Slim was having a positive effect. Now, did the Slim do it all? No, but it was the catalyst to get me walking. I've since lost 50 pounds from 250 down to, if you've got that picture, down to 200. That's where I leveled off at. But I walk, I exercise, I watch what I eat, but it was the Slim that was the catalyst to get me back healthy again. I'll drink Slim till the day that I die. And along with the Slim, Plexus used me as the guinea pig. And they were thinking about coming out with a product. And the product now is called Nerve. And I started taking the nerve because I have what they call central tremors. And so the people at Plexus thought, Jerry, this nerve may help you with your central tremor. So we want you to start taking it. And I said, fine, I'll take it on the condition that y'all give me at least a 4-month supply, because I'm not going to take something for 30 days and quit. I'm going to get it in my system and see what it'll do. So after 4 months, I thought, you know, this is working a little bit. And I usually get up in the morning and make coffee. And for years and years, I would take Debra a cup of coffee and I'd sit down and drink a cup of coffee with her. My central tremors got so bad, I couldn't carry coffee in my hand without spilling it. Anyway, after taking the nerve for a period of time, I got back to where I could carry 2 cups of coffee again. But then about 16 months later, this is what really opened my eyes up. On the left side of my hand, on my left hand, this had gone numb because of nerve damage. And down the right side of my leg, it had gone numb. It's like you've laid on your hand all night and you wake up in the morning and you don't have any sensation until the blood starts circulating again. So the doctors had told me, you have lost, because of nerve damage by the diabetes, that feeling in the side of your hand and down your leg. Let me tell you something. After 16 months, I noticed one day the side of my hand was itching. And I thought, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to have any feeling here. And then I reached down and started scratching the side of my leg. Today, I have full sensation in this hand and down this leg. And after being a diabetic since '06, the doctors cannot understand why I do not have neuropathy in my feet. And but that nerve, that green lippard muscle, helps to recoat your nerves. If a nerve dies, there's nothing you can do about it, but you can reverse the diabetes attacking the coating on your nerves, and that can be replenished. And that's what happened with me. So today I have no damage because of the diabetes in my hand or my leg or in any other part of my body. So Slim and Nerve, I truly believe in those 2 products, and I take a lot more Plexus, but if I was a diabetic, first thing I'd do is get Slim, and I'd get Nerve, and I'd get Faithful with it.
Plexus has been a blessing. The 9-to-5 job that I thought I was going to need to have, Plexus became that job for me. The home, we've been able to rent out the church's home. And so they have that extra income coming in. And God provided us with 35 acres that's paid for. Huge shop that men just drool over with the tractor and all those boy toys, you know, the excavator and all that. And then a beautiful home. I don't say this and I don't share it to brag. I share it to let you know that, hey, if I can do it, if he can do it, you can do it. Whenever I joined, it was a year later. Sheila went Emerald in March. I went Emerald in April, and then Patty and Ronnie went Emerald a month after that. We became, we went to the very first Emerald extravaganza. We had begged to come see the corporate office. We, in fact, thought we were going to get, you know, the Motel 6. But it wasn't. It was, I mean, all out. It was pretty amazing. The royalty and the way that they treated us.
Can I tell them something?
Maybe, yeah, go ahead.
I remember coming in on a Friday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And Debra says, you need to sit down. I have something I have to tell you. No man wants to hear his wife say that. And she looked at me and I thought, uh-oh, what's happened here? She said, Jerry, we just got a call from corporate and they've just deposited $10,000 in our checking account. Understand, pastor in a small church, in a small community, $10,000. I didn't know the government printed that kind of money. And I looked at Deborah and I said, Deborah, in all these years, I've never had any reason to doubt anything that you've told me, but I'm sorry. I can't grasp $10,000. So Monday morning, she comes into the church office and she brings a deposit slip and shows me where Plexus had deposited $10,000 in our checking account. And it just went up from there. And we were able to hire another minister at the church for young couples. We were able to, because of God's blessing, we were able to purchase a grand piano for the church. And the Lord has blessed us, and we've used that as a blessing back for him and his glory. And I think that's the reason why Plexus has been blessed, is because we have a big faith community in the Plexus family.
Amen. Amen. I love that. And I have to concur. I remember when we first got started, we shared the same makeup. We have the same story, but mine was very similar.
How much was yours in debt? Were you in debt?
5,000.
No, that wasn't that much.
It was, because then we had to sell our home. And they came with a tow truck to take my car back.
Oh, they came with the tow truck too.
Yeah.
Take mine back.
So,
And I don't know that I've ever been so embarrassed my whole life.
well, it was funny because our little kids were little and they just kind of waved, bye-bye. Like, there goes mommy's car. And we went from having 2 vehicles and 2 incomes, sort of, to a mailman's income with 1 vehicle for the entire household.
Hi, well, let me tell you about the vehicle. When we decided, Charles started mentioning early on, he said, what do y'all think about vehicle for Plexus? Let's come out with a vehicle. And we're like, no, because we didn't like the setup of the other company. And we said, no, we don't. So anyway, we talked about it for a couple of months and then we let it lapse. And then he started talking about it again. Would you like to know what the first car he had thought about using?
Yes.
It was a Ford Focus.
With a Plexus sticker on the back.
Yeah, we like, no, it's not going to be no Ford Focus. But we really negotiated as to what the terms of that car, because we knew that we had something good going here, and we needed to iron out things there. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of good things about the makeup company, and those good things we brought over. Golden rule, I mean, do unto others and truly mean it. In this company, in that company, it was like family first. Well, you can say that all you want, but you don't, it wasn't exhibit. In here, oh my goodness, do you know how many families were at leaders retreat? Do you know that was shunned at the other company? Yes. Do you know that when someone won a trip, it was just that one person? I mean, y'all, you just don't even know. It is by far the most amazing company ever. And early on, it was our president and Tarl were like, this is our motto. If it's good for the ambassadors, it's got to be good for the ambassadors. And it's got to be good for the company. If it's not good for the ambassadors, then it's not going to be good for us. If it's not good for the company, then it's not going to be good for the ambassadors. And just think that thought. I mean, it's got to be the same, because so if sometimes I get a little angsty whenever some want more and more from the company, and I think we have to say, wait just a minute. Our company has to survive. in order for us to have the paycheck that they give us. So we should have the same mindset that they do. It's got to be good for our company. And our mindset should be, let's make sure it's good for our company first, because we want them to succeed. I promise you, if they succeed, oh, they're just going to lavish us immensely. So,
Deborah, I had made the statement that the doctors had said I would be addicted with insulin for the rest of my life. After 18 months of being on Slim,
that's right.
I stopped taking insulin. My blood sugar had come down. I was feeling so great. And some days I'd get out and walk 11 miles. I mean, I couldn't do that before Plexus came along. And so even though they said I would be addicted to insulin for the rest of my life, I can trace it back to what Slim did for me. And I don't take insulin now.
So what's one lesson that you guys have learned from the beginning until now, like your nugget of hope or encouragement that you love to share? So if you like, what's that thing that you feel like really can catapult someone to having success, not only with the products, but with the business and what it has to offer people?
I can take that one on. I guess it was the second or third convention, Debra got up and spoke, and she made the statement, when others do good in Plexus, it blesses the whole company. And Debra and I have never been jealous of somebody else's success. I mean, the more people that become jewels, the more people that become diamond, double diamond, go for it. Celebrate in Plexus the success of all people. And as we're all successful, it raises everybody's boat up. So for us, we probably cut a road in the wilderness, but you youngsters have come along and made interstates. And hey, it thrills me to see what so many young people are doing today and how they're marketing Plexus. I know at the church, we burn up a copy machine trying to make publications to hand out at places. And then along our journey, we ended up having a Plexus warehouse right here in Ackerman, Mississippi. And these 18-wheelers would back up and we'd have to offload the product into a little old building. And we've had so many precious memories, precious trips, and wonderful people that we've met, and all to the glory of God.
Yeah, I'm not sure if y'all realize we had a warehouse. And so ambassadors from around could order their product and choose Ackerman as their place to pick up product. And they got to pick it up free. Charles paid for someone to be there in the office and all. So that was kind of neat. I would pick him up at the airport, and in my back seat would be product, and we would go from town to town and be gone a week at a time. And we'd go to the meeting and we'd sign people up right then, and we would hand them their welcome pack right then and there. Of course, their credit card, we pray and hope that it goes through the next day, but that's the way it goes. So where do you go from here? How many of you like to go into a dress shop and you put on this dress and you look at it and it's a pink polka dotted? I hope you don't get a dress on, pink polka dot, and the lady just goes on and on. Oh my goodness, you got it. That looks awesome on you. She tries to sell you, and then she tries to push this dress on you. She tries to push that on you, and none of it looks good. Well, what is she wanting? Come on, I heard Karen, what'd you say?
The sale.
She's wanting to sell. Who is it? Who is it going to benefit? Her. I mean, and of course we want the sale to benefit her, of course, but we don't want to look like the blimp or the whatever, or right. And it feels like that's all she's after, is to get rid of something. Y'all, don't be that salesperson. it's really about them. How can I help them? What can I do to help them? And when we get the dollar signs out of our eyes, people can see the dollar signs a mile away. I mean, they can see it coming. But when we take the dollar signs out of the way and it's about that person, makes all the difference in the world. I had a nurse practitioner that would send me patients. Do you know why? Because when she called me wanting to know what she could take, and then she started reading everything, of course, she devoured all the information. She decided she needed everything. And I said, no, whoa. No, that's not what we're going to do. No. And so I just gave her a few products. I gained her trust unknowingly, but I gained her trust because she realized that I wasn't after a sale. I was concerned about her and what would benefit her the most. And so she felt comfortable sending me all of her patients because she knew that I wasn't going to sell them the store. I was only going to share the things that would really benefit them. So it's caring about others first. That's bottom line, caring about others, and then following up, making sure, listen, I've sold to someone and the 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, I'm like, whoa, I forgot about her. And now I'm embarrassed to call. Go ahead and make the phone call.
When Debra started taking Plexus, she swore me to secrecy. You will not tell anybody I am on another diet. I never told anybody about the first one. And anyway, here it is about 4 months down the road. And people are coming up and saying, Brother Lawson, your wife has lost so much weight. What is she doing? My wife's lost weight? Really? I didn't know anything about it. You hadn't noticed your wife lost? No, I didn't know she's lost weight. Finally, I had to come to Debra and tell her, look, you're going to have to start telling people what you're doing because you're making a liar out of me. I mean, everybody can see it.
He's stretching it just a little bit, but I'm going to let him share his tip on how to speak to someone. And this is someone that you're out and about and you're like, oh man, I'd really like to talk to her. I'd really like to talk to him. So he has an acronym and he uses SPEAK. So if you don't mind, Kenny, him sharing that.
Sure.
Okay.
SPEAK. I don't care what it is. If you want to engage somebody, the first thing you got to do is signal to them that you want to talk with them. How are you doing today? Man, it's a beautiful day out here, isn't it? Are you from around here? Anything like that will get them engaged in a conversation. P, perspective. As you're talking with them, develop a perspective on that person. E, evaluate the conversation and kind of take it in the direction that you want it to go in. A, affirm the other person. You know, I thought about what you said a minute ago, and I agree with you. I like that. Can I use that? When you affirm another person, that draws them in. They really appreciate that. And then K, after I get through engaging a person, I look for knowledge, the after action report. What did I learn from that conversation? Was I able to lead them in talking to them about Plexus, dropping a hint? Man, I tell you what, I got to get me another belt. I keep tightening this. What are you doing? I mean, if you'll use SPEAK, if you'll signal to a person that you want to have a conversation with them, develop a perspective as you're talking, and encourage them to speak and affirm them. You can engage anyone, stranger, anyone in a conversation, and pretty soon, learning things about them, you can find out there may be a Plexus product that person needs.
Amen.
Love that. I love what you said too, was take time to learn something about them. It goes back to that others focused. So one of the things that we love to share is that we believe that when you're people focused and not profit driven, God will always honor the prophet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you need to understand too, the Lord knows who needs our precious products, and he'll give us opportunities to engage them to help them out with their health.
This is a slogan that Jerry has come up with. I'm not sure. Can you see his plexus here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. He always said, if we will keep the cross before us,
Mm.
everything will fall in place. The very first convention we had, they had come out with a new logo, which was that. And I mean, Jerry and I looked at it and we looked at each other and we're like, oh my goodness. And he got on stage and said something about that. I mean, he came up with it that quick, keeping the cross before us.
In
Tar-
plexus.
in plexus. Tarl and our president turned and looked at the banner. They had not seen, they saw an X. They did not see the cross, but everyone else saw the cross. But anyway, keep the cross before us.
In plexus.
Exactly, in plexus, yes.
Amen. Do you have anything you want to add? Any questions you
No.
have for them?
We're running out of time, but that was
I
wonderful.
know.
Thank you. I love hearing the stories, and it is so awesome to see like the similarities you two.
You guys just
Women
gained
have.
a new best friend. You're welcome. We're gonna come visit.
Love y'all. And yeah, I cannot wait to celebrate with y'all soon. We'll see y'all all in convention, right? It's gonna be amazing. Yes, convention, come see me.
Well, you guys, we just want to say thank you again so much for taking time to pour into our team and just for continuing to keep that focus on what is truly important and what God really has given us is that opportunity to help, love, and serve others. And when we do that well, then he lines everything else up for us. And so I just want to say thank you guys for, again, just taking time out of your schedules and to join us. It means more to us than you really know. So we
Thank you.
love, and we're so thankful for you. Thank you, Jerry, for
Thank you.
sharing.
Y'all have a
And
nice
thank
evening.
You guys, we are out. Thank you again for joining us tonight. This was recorded. You'll be able to replay it. And I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your crazy busy schedules to plug in, to get poured into, because what's poured into is what gets poured out. And so our hope and our prayer is that you guys rock the end of this month. You're already doing such a phenomenal job blessing friends with this March Madness special that's happening. Don't forget, really quick housekeeping, all the welcome packs are 10% off. The SAM 2020 code still is working, knocks another 10% off, okay? And we personally, as a team, have our March Madness special going on. Every time we bless 10 friends, we do another drawing. I'm getting ready to open up my back office, and I'm have a feeling we're gonna do another drawing tonight, you guys. So you guys are just absolutely on a roll. We are praying you forward as you're tackling all the things that you are working towards in becoming, in those goals and those dreams that God's put on your heart. But in that process of becoming, enjoying the journey. Enjoy the journey. And like we shared today in our thread, it's better done than perfect sometimes.
Amen.
And you don't need makeup to take selfies. Saying, right? It does help a little bit. There's apps for that. All right, you guys, we love you and we thank you again. I can't wait to see where everybody ends up at the end of the month. We will see you back here live on Tuesday night for our testimony time. So until then, hasta mañana.
Debra, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Debra.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
I love you, friend.